Hello, my name is Francesca and this is my knitting and crafting podcast. I'm 29 years old, I live in Italy and I love to knit, crochet, so you name it, I love doing it. I've really been knitting and doing other things. I have a lot of unexpected acquisitions to show you, a few completed projects, a few whips. So let's get started. I'm wearing all the knits today because the temperatures have really dropped in the last couple of days. So I'm wearing the same cardigan that I wore in my first episode because it's what I wear in the house. And then I really get cold around my neck, so I've been also wearing this really big scarf that I made a few years ago. Can't remember the pattern, can't remember the yarn. It's just really thick and cozy. So I finished the Christmas vest that I was making last month now. I was planning to wear this at Christmas time, on Christmas Day. I didn't get to because I got a really high fever the day before Christmas. So I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day wrapped in blankets and trying to, sleep and get through the cold. And it wasn't COVID, so I don't know what it was. But I wore pajamas all week. So I think I wore this after New Year's Day, and maybe I will wear it in the next couple of weeks before it gets too warm for it, I guess. This is knitting. I think this is heavy worsted weight, bordering on chunky. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I used a free pattern for the vest, for the stitch count and everything, and then I designed the flower motif here, which I just love it. I simply love it. I have so much of the natural and of this dark color, so maybe I will make and also a tiny bit of the red as well, so maybe I will make other vests, like maybe changing up maybe I can make like other motifs here. I really like this scalloped background that I made. Lovely. I'm just kind of bummed out that I didn't get to wear it. I don't even have any photos wearing it. So sad. The other project that I was working on during the Christmas holidays or period is this cowl. This is the Ivar cowl. I can't remember the pattern designer. It's a really cute, really easy cowl to make. This is all stockinette. You can make it striped or just a plain color. And this is this other part is a really simple lace motif, which you cannot tell, but it's a really, really simple lace motif. This was just so fun to make, and I've been using it quite a lot. I made it just using some scraps that I had for years. These are the only two finished projects that I have with me. I also made a couple of washcloths using cotton, but I will insert a picture here. I made a couple just to have at my parents' house where I was during the Christmas holidays, because I use them to take off my makeup, so I just wanted to have a few of those there, just to leave them there. And I made them in like a cheerful yellow color. And then I also have a hat that I made for my father's boyfriend. I spent part of my holidays at my parents' house and part of the holidays at my boyfriend's parents' house. And when I got there, my boyfriend's mother, she had bought some yarn for me to make hats for her husband, so my boyfriend's father. So complicated. I always get so confused when I have to talk about my boyfriend's parents, even in Italian, which is my first language. Even more when I have to talk about them in English, when I have to reference them. And so, yeah, I made a hat for my boyfriend in November. She loved it, so she wanted me to make some for her husband. So she got me a couple of skeins from Sesia, which is an Italian, like one of those staple brands of commercial yarn. I will put the picture here. I wanted to make a hat and give it to my boyfriend's father like quickly, because I don't know when the next time that I see him will be. So I had 2 balls of this Sesia Milford, which I think is discontinued, but it was a really nice, I think it was like a mix of wool, yeah, it's a mix of wool, alpaca, acrylic and silk. So I had 2 balls, so I held them together, again because I wanted to make a hat really quickly, and so I held them together and I made a barley hat by Think and Knits, which is the same pattern that I used for the hat that I made for my boyfriend as well. And yeah, so I think it took me like an evening and an afternoon to complete, and I gave it to him and was really pleased. He's a very like, he's a very not serious man, but he doesn't show emotions really well. I guess he's a man of a certain age, so but I could tell that he was very pleased. And I also have my boyfriend's mother also bought this yarn to make another hat. This yarn is a lighter gray than the Sesia one, and this one is really nice. I really like it. It has like colorful speckles running through it, and it's Laine du Nord holiday tweed, which is superwash, 50% wool, 39% acrylic, and 11% viscose. Maybe this will make like a lighter weight hat, and I have 2 balls of this. I think this is like a DK weight. These were all the projects that I completed in the last couple of weeks, 20 days. I have a couple of whips, which are, first of all, I'm making a pair of socks for my boyfriend. It's been really cold these last couple of days, and he's a very like a very big man, and he doesn't get cold very often. He got cold, so that's saying something. I'm usually the cold one in the relationship. This sounds wrong. I mean that usually I'm the one that needs to be wrapped in blankets all the time, even in June. So he asked me to make him a pair of woolen socks, which made me really happy, because he never asks me to knit something for him, never ever. So I'm really glad I can make this for him. Also because I never knit socks. I knit like a few pairs when I first started to knit. That was the number one thing that I wanted to learn how to knit. I wanted to learn how to knit, to be able to knit socks. I remember there was this girl on Instagram that I just stumbled upon her profile, and she used to knit scrappy socks, like really scrappy socks. And I remember I wanted to be able to do that. I never knit a pair of scrappy socks, I don't think, because I don't have enough scraps of sock weight yarn. So yeah, that's how I learned to knit, by trying to knit a pair of socks. And so I knit a few pairs after that, and then just to wear them around the house. And then I realized that I tried wearing them outside, but it's not cold enough here in Italy, and I don't wear them around the house enough to justify making socks and not making like sweaters. I wear sweaters all the time. Now that it's really cold, I've busted out my knitted socks. I made such a nice pair with Rosa Pomar Retrosaria yarn sorry, yarn. And I've been wearing those around the house. So I've made a pair. I made a pair last year for a friend of mine as a gift, and then I didn't make them. I didn't make any of them this year. All of this to say that I just started knitting a pair for my boyfriend. I bought the yarn yesterday. It's Cervinia. It's from an Italian, like really old school brand. It's Cervinia. This is like so nostalgic. It's like the name is simply special for socks, for sock making. This is such an old school brand. Of course, when my boyfriend said, "Can you please knit me a pair of socks?" I went online, and so I tried to look which like nice self-patterning yarn I could find that didn't cost too much, and also the shipping didn't cost too much. And I saw that Amazon sells Regia socks, like self-patterning sock yarn, and it costs like about 12 euros. But I didn't want to use Amazon, so the next day I went to a local yarn shop, which is run by a really nice old lady, and I asked her, I need yarn for socks. She looked at me and she said, "I have just the thing. I have special yarn for socks." And she had a few colors, and like a really nice pink and green colorway that I'm thinking about getting for myself. And this was really inexpensive. I got 2 skeins, 2 50-gram little balls for 7 euros. So even less expensive than on Amazon. I really like knitting socks bottom up, toe up. This is probably because I'm not a very experienced knitter, but I don't understand why I would knit a pair of socks top down. You can't try them. You cannot try them, so how do you know if they're fitting or not? maybe once you've done, I don't know, 10 pairs, you know your measurements, and you can knit them top down and have no problems. But I really like just trying them on, especially this pair, because I have no clue what my boyfriend's measurements are. Maybe I should take them. Anyway, I can't finish a thought today. I can't finish a sentence. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is to say that I like bottom up, toe up socks, and I am using, which pattern am I using? The Trusty Toe Up Socks by Tennis Lavallee, which I think is one of the most popular patterns for socks. It has a short row heel, which I will be trying. I used this pattern for the pair of socks that I made for my friend last year, and that was the first time I was doing short row heels. For all my socks, the socks that I made a few years ago when I started to knit, I used the afterthought heel because I was scared of doing short rows. Now I am slightly more experienced in short row knitting, although I have to, every time I have to do them, I have to look up a tutorial because I haven't memorized how to do them. I know they're super easy, but it's something that my brain doesn't want to contain and hold on to. It's the same with Kitchener stitching. I need to maybe write it down somewhere because I need to look it up every single time that I need to do, like, that I have to Kitchener up something. And so I think I will be doing a short row heel on these just to practice. And this is really good TV knitting. I just started yesterday evening, and I am in no rush, but I kind of want to do them quickly so that he can wear them. Okay. Other whips mixed with acquisitions. I am knitting a blanket slash wrap slash, I don't know what it will turn out to be. My boyfriend's dad, which I feel like I said my boyfriend's dad 100 times in this video, he is like the kind of person that will hold on to a lot of unnecessary stuff. Sometimes the stuff that he holds on to turns out to be necessary for me, because he said to me that he had a bag of yarn in his like in a storage space, because I think my boyfriend's mom used to knit when she was younger. And so I said, of course I will take a look at it. I don't care if it's old. I'm sure I can wash it, and if it's in bad shape. And so he gave to me a huge bag of yarn. I don't know if I have pictures, but it was a mess. It was very tangled, and also it didn't have a really nice smell. So I thought, it's free yarn. I will try and wash it and dry it. If it still smells kind of bad, I will just throw it away. So I have a big quantity of lace weight yarn. What like lace weight yarn? Who buys this much lace weight yarn? So I have 4 balls of this really light yellow lace weight yarn. Of course, this didn't have labels or anything. I am assuming that this is lace weight. It's really thin, and also this yellow reminds me of spaghetti, of course, of you know, angel hair pasta, those really thin spaghetti. So I have 4 of these. 4 of these. It's like a dusty rose, dusty pink. So much of it. And then I have this like, I have the exact name in Italian. I don't know how to describe this green. It's like it's a sage green. It's a sage green. I have just this one, and then I have this dark blue, which I love and I wish I had more of this. Lastly, I have this light blue. So listen. I want to make a star blanket, and I want to use like a sawtooth star pattern, like in quilting. I never made a quilt and it's a dream of mine, but cutting fabric is so permanent. In knitting, if I mess something up, it's fine because I can rip it out, try again. Quilting is kind of, the idea of messing up a quilt is, I guess I have to learn how to make mistakes and accept mistakes. So I'm using this pattern as inspiration. I want to make a yellow star with the dusty rose pink background, and then I will use the remaining 3 colors, the blue ones and the green for something else, or maybe to make a border, I don't know. So I will make 4 squares for the central part of the star, and then I will make several not half-shaped triangles. This is the quilting terminology. I will make like half and half squares, half yellow and half pink, and then I will make 4 all pink squares. It's easier done than said, because I don't know how to speak English properly today, sorry. Anyway, I did some math and I hope it works out. I divided the amount of yellow and pink colors into 16 by 16, I think, because it's the number of triangles that I have to make to make this blanket. I hope it works out. I don't know, I have no clue how big the entire thing will be. I'm just trying to use up all the yarn. Also, I am holding the yarn double with itself, and also I'm using some white mohair, which is not like 100% mohair. This is acrylic and alpaca and something else also, just to make it a bit more, I don't know, the word that comes to my mind is tangible, because trust me, this is, I don't think I've ever worked with this thin, like yarn that is this thin. It's basically like mohair thin. Anyway, the fabric that it is producing is so airy and so squishy. I love it. It's also really like making this kind of shapes, like really simple shapes, is so relaxing. My thought is this maybe won't be the perfect, like a very practical blanket, because it is very lightweight, and also so I don't think it will keep me really warm, so it won't be very useful. So maybe I can use it as a wrap, like I'm using this. I don't know, we will see, but or maybe I can use it as decoration if it turns nice. But I'm really enjoying the way that this is turning out. It's just, and this light yellow makes me happy. So that was my other work in progress / acquisitions. I have made one square so far of the center part, and I'm working on the second one, but also I'm working on the socks, so it's slowing, the blanket is slowing down. My work on the blanket is slowing down. I have one frog project, one sad story. Before the Christmas holidays, I found this amazing yarn that I found at the market near my house here in Milan. This is Poema by Laine du Nord, and I got it super discounted. This is 100% wool with some stellina running through it, and it's a gradient. I struggled so much with finding a pattern that I liked, that suited the gradient. I knew I wanted to make a shawl, and I wanted it to have to be constructed like this, to start at one point and be shaped like a V, like so, with a center spine. And I really struggled. I initially thought that I would make like what is it called? Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry, but I really struggled with that pattern also. I tried to make it earlier this year, and I don't know, I had a problem with it. So then I found, after looking and looking, because of course I wanted to find a free pattern, I couldn't find any that I liked. And also I was working with a limited amount of yarn because I only have one ball. So all of this to say that I found finally the Petal Ash pattern by Melanie Rice. It's a stunning pattern. It's part lace, part stockinette, and it's shaped exactly how I wanted it. Unfortunately, it's quite difficult for me. I don't think it's written in a way that I understand. I don't think the chart pattern is written in a way that I can understand. I can understand the written out portion, because there are charts and also like full-on written instructions, and those I can understand. And I started it, I got to, I think, the halfway mark. Then I realized that I was making some kind of mistake, because I think there is a 20 row repeat, so it's quite long, and it's like every round, every row is different, so I couldn't memorize it, or I didn't want to. Maybe I can memorize it, but I just didn't want to. And so I was making some kind of mistake. I tried ripping back, but then I realized that I didn't know where I was in the pattern, in the, you know, I couldn't figure out. And so I ripped everything out, and I was at the halfway point. Also because I didn't like how the gradient was was showing, and so I wanted to modify that as well. I started again, was making mistakes, started again. I was making mistakes. I don't know, and I was paying so much attention. I feel like every time I was reading the instructions, but I don't know, maybe I don't have the brain space to do to make this pattern. And I do want to make it because it's stunning in my opinion, and I think it would be the perfect, I think it's honestly the perfect combination between the pattern and this yarn, which is so like delicate and feminine, and I feel like the pattern is the spot on. So maybe I will try again. I will wait a few weeks, and when I feel like it, I will try again. In the last few weeks, I feel like I was showered with unexpected craft supplies. My parents got me, for Christmas, got me this huge skein of very, very pretty yarn from a local producer, local to my parents. I think I talked about this producer, which is called Aquilana, in one of my other videos. She is local to where I was born and grew up, which is a region in the central part of Italy that is called Abruzzo. She raises her own sheep, she has her own flock, and she dyes the yarn. I think she has it processed in the north of Italy, which is like in a city which is known for yarn processing, and then she has it dyed with natural dyes. Like this is dyed with, no, I'm not gonna be able to translate it. I will write it here. I think it's like a plant root, and it gives this reddish brown color. This is 500 grams. What am I going to do with 500 grams of yarn? It's so much. It's 1,650 meters. I can make a man's sweater or a dress, maybe. I think I may have found the perfect use for this yarn. There is this pattern designer on Instagram. I think she's from Ukraine. She uses a lot of this kind of color, like orangey brown. I will write name below because now, of course, I don't remember. I think she's called Teti, maybe. And she makes these amazing, like, plant and floral inspired yoke sweaters, which I love. But this is like a lot of yarn. This will make like 2 sweaters at least. Maybe I was thinking I could make a sweater for my brother. We will see. And then I was offered by a friend of a friend some crafting supplies, some sewing supplies, because her grandpa, who has unfortunately passed away, had like a fabric store, and I think she told me that her family has had this shop for 3 generations or something, and so they were closing down the store and selling everything. And she said, are you interested in some of the fabric? I couldn't visit the store because it's in another city, but she sent some fabric to me and some other stuff. And I didn't know it was going to be this much fabric, and I was just so grateful. You know that I don't have a job at the moment, so yarn and craft supplies are like not at the top of the list of things that I could spend my money on. So I feel like this month the universe listened to me and sent me all this free stuff my way, and I'm so grateful for it. So I have all this lining fabric. You know, it's this kind of fabric which is like shiny, and just it's made for a lining for like suit, and yeah, for suit linings or coats. I'm not experienced enough to know how to make blazers and other very structured garments. I know how to sew a bit. I taught myself, but I don't think this will be used as lining. I think I want to make like little bags and scrunchies and bows. I washed and ironed all of this in the last couple of days, and it's just like it's a whole rainbow of fabric. Then I have some non-lining fabrics. I have some corduroy, but it's all like tiny scraps. Then I have some, I think this is called piqué. It's a cotton fabric which is made for like polo shirts. And then I have some knit fabric. I don't think this is wool, but it's really nice nonetheless. It's really feels really warm. Maybe this is a cotton, actually. I was thinking of maybe doing a sweater with this, just like a very simple T-shaped top, because this is a really nice fabric. I'm sure it's not all, like I'm sure it's a kind of synthetic, but I think a nice double, like bee-colored sweater will look nice. I think this color suits me. And then I have some wool, like woven wool. It's a gray, and I think it may be big enough for a skirt. I don't know, maybe I'm being optimistic with the amount of skirt that I need for my body type. If this is not enough, I can make maybe a bag with it. So much fabric. Last but not least, I have some vintage thread. Oh my god, so much free thread. It's just so happy. And then I have some vintage buttons. I go crazy for these kind of things. These are light pink buttons, and there are like 1,000 of them, and then some very simple white ones, and then more of these. I don't want to spill everything, and there are some gray and green ones, even some leather ones, and then also, like, how cute are these? Some needles. I have so many needles now. This made me unbelievably happy. I'm sure you will understand how happy receiving all this stuff made me, and even more so because it's all vintage. I love vintage stuff. I love repurposing stuff that gets overlooked. So I can't wait to put all of this to use. Future projects. I want to concentrate on finishing my current whips so that I don't have many future needs planned. But I was asked by my best friend to make her a balaclava. I showed her my yarn stash and she chose this one. Oh, actually, this is you remember in my last video I showed you a shawl, a crochet shawl that I made. I frogged it and now I have all this yarn. I have 3 more of these. This is fingering weight. And actually this is from the same producer as the yarn that I was gifted by my parents. And so I will hold this double, maybe with a mohair, which I think I have, and make her a balaclava similar to the ones that I made a month ago now, which I showed in my first podcast. And then I want to make I think I want to make a double thick hat for myself because it's been really cold and I've been using my balaclava in the last couple of days, but it's cold. Even like a balaclava doesn't suffice. So I want to make I think I made a double thick hat last year, a free pattern, which I maybe will write here. It's not a Musselborough hat. I think I want to make a double thick hat using this eggplant color, and again I want to hold it with some mohair to make it fluffy. I'm also planning on reorganizing my yarn stash and fabric closet. It's like I'm pointing there because it's there. It's part of a piece of furniture that we have in our living room, and it's kind of giving me anxiety because it's crammed full of stuff. And when we moved here, I had so much stuff to put away, and I think I just crammed everything in there. It's been almost a year since we moved here, so I think it's time to see what's in there, maybe buy some containers and organize, and so most importantly to use what I have there. Yeah, that's all. I will be going to Venice in a few days, and I will be spending the weekend in Venice. I haven't been in I think 10 years. Maybe I will try and get some footage so I can show you. That's everything. Kind of feeling hot now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave comments if you did, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Ciao.